Goldleaf City, early 2000s. The city didn't breathe. It held its breath. From the docks to the rooftops, it was held together by fear, loyalty, and money. By day, it looked legit, fast cars, open storefronts, people moving like things might be okay, but by night, it belonged to wolves. There were cops here, sure, but they didn't police. They collected. Payoffs, protection, paranoia. Through the gunsmoke of the 90s, four names rose above the rest. Whispers on prison phones, carved into cell walls, and etched in blood on brick walls. Rich, Darko, Afroman, Rex. Before they became kings, they were just four kids with a dream to eat, to win, to take what the world refused to hand them. It started small, corner robberies, fence jobs, flipping burners, cleaning out the back rooms of gambling dens. But they ran a tight ship and quickly made a name for themselves, built on money and violence.
Afroman was loud, charismatic. He could talk his way into anywhere. Corner hustlers followed him without knowing why. He was a scammer by blood, golden tongue, iron knuckles. One minute he'd charm a clerk, the next he'd knock a man out with a roll of quarters. Every scheme had style. Every move had swagger. Darko was quiet, cautious. He watched everyone, trusted no one. He had eyes like a chessboard, always scanning, always 2 moves ahead. People mistook his silence for softness, but he'd already buried more bodies than anyone in the crew. He didn't flinch. He didn't forgive. Rich was the youngest, still a teen when the crew hit their first score. Cocky, reckless, always chasing the next big score or bad girl. He dreamed of champagne nights and chrome Bentleys before he ever touched a pistol. He didn't just want to live, he wanted to shine. Rex was the one who never laughed. Oldest of the crew, coldest too. He grew up behind beaded curtains and smoke-filled backrooms. His uncle ran with triads and taught him the tricks of the trade. Rex never talked much. He moved in silence and built power slow. He didn't chase control, he became it. 2nd of January 2002, another night. Darko was counting rolls from a corner pill run. Rich had just dipped from Glenwick after a minor fender bender involving a stolen Lexus. Afroman, running his mouth to some betting shop clerk about a rigged scratch card hustle. The 4-man crew caught up with each other in the back room of a Chinese takeout joint. As soon as they placed their orders, Rex got a call and put it on speakerphone.
Hey baby, you're not gonna believe what I found at work today. So I'm filing stuff for Mr. Davis, right? Just minding my business, half asleep. And then, boom, I pull out this dusty old folder from the bottom drawer. Tell me why it's the blueprint, like the actual blueprint of the whole damn bank. I'm talking the vault, the back doors, the wires, all of it. So anyway, I took a copy. Don't ask how. You still up?
It was out of there before their order even hit the stove. 20 minutes later, the car was rolling through Goldleaf's east side. Low beams on, windows cracked. Rex was behind the wheel. Darko rode shotgun, eyes scanning every corner like a hawk. Afroman in the back, chewing gum like it owed him money. Rich half asleep with a burner in his lap, hoodie drawn tight. The girl lived in a block above a check cashing spot, one of those buildings where the lights always flicker and every hallway smells like fried food and secrets. She met them outside the apartments, blueprint rolled up in a takeout bag. No questions.
Y'all be careful.
The next morning, January 3rd, the city didn't know it yet, but something was moving. Rex had already spread the blueprint across a plastic table in the back of the Chinese restaurant. Oil-stained fingers tracing fuse lines and vault timings like he'd read 1,000 of them. Darko handled tools, crowbars, gloves, drills, silencers. The kind of things you don't buy together unless you're going to war. Rich was on vehicle duty. 2 stolen sedans, wiped clean, parked 3 blocks from the target. Afroman, he talked to a janitor who owed him a favor, a man with access to an out-of-use maintenance hatch. By sundown, everything was locked in. One night, in and out. If they were right, no alarms, no heat, just money, and silence. January 4th, 2002, downtown Goldleaf. The streets were still, storefronts dark, neon signs buzzing like dying flies. The city was asleep, but 4 shadows were moving. The plan burned into their minds like gospel. The janitor kept his word, the side hatch opened smooth. Afroman gave the crew a nod, and they followed inside. Darko took point, cutting power from the fuse box like he'd done it before. Lights dropped, alarms blinked out, just like Rex said they would. They kept moving, back corridors, service tunnels. Not a single word exchanged. They reached the final corridor, paint peeled from the walls, floors scuffed with decades of foot traffic. But tonight, it was all theirs. 2 security guards,
half asleep behind a reinforced glass booth, blinked just in time to see shadows swarm in. Rich was first through the door, Glock drawn steady. Afroman flanked the other side. The guards froze. One reached too slow. Afroman cracked him across the jaw with the butt of his pistol. No second chances tonight. They zip-tied wrists, muzzled noise, eyes wide in fear. Rex and Darko moved past, deeper into the guts of the bank. Darko carried the drill. Rex held the blueprint in his head. Every hallway, every turn, and in the vault. Still, silent, imposing. Rex looked at the keypad. 3 seconds of stillness. Then they got to work. Rex set the charge. Quick, clean, no Hollywood boom, just a sharp crack. And the lock gave. The vault swung open like a confession booth. Inside, stacks of cash bundled tight. Gold bars tucked into corners like forgotten bricks. Loose diamonds in an evidence bag, labeled but never logged. Darko let out the smallest breath. Then they moved. Duffels filled, silent, swift. No talking, just counting in their heads. But then, a sound. One of the guards, younger than the rest, had slipped the ties. Shaking, hand low, pistol in his grip, he stepped forward. Rex turned, didn't hesitate. The echo bounced off the vault walls like it had been waiting for it. No panic, no flinch, just another body on the floor. They finished packing. Rex gave the nod. Back through the corridors, past the blood, past the buzz, past the fear. Outside, 2 sedans waiting. Engines low, plates swapped, interiors clean. Rich behind one wheel. Afroman already loading bags into the other. They vanished into the night before the city even knew it had been touched.
This just in. Police are investigating what they're calling one of the most precise and professional robberies in city history. Early this morning, officers responded to a silent alarm at the First Goldleaf National Bank downtown. What they found was nothing short of surgical. The vault was emptied. Sadly, there was one casualty, a male employee found dead inside, shot once in the chest. Detectives on the scene say the job shows signs of inside knowledge. One officer, who asked to remain anonymous, described it as, quote, not your average crew. Video feeds were wiped, motion sensors disabled. The building's fuse box was manually shut down, all before midnight. Authorities are asking for any witnesses who may have seen suspicious activity near 9th and Monroe Street, just behind the bank's service alley. But as of now, Goldleaf PD has no suspects, no leads, and no answers. Locals are calling it the phantom job. If you have any information, please contact the tip line below. Stay with Goldleaf 6 for updates as this story develops. In other news, a fire broke out on Gloom Street.
Gloom Street, Goldleaf City. The smell hit first. Burning rubber, melting upholstery, and the sharp tang of gasoline soaked into concrete. 2 sedans lit up behind an abandoned scrapyard on Gloom Street. No sirens, no eyes. Just firelight dancing off 4 stone-cold faces. The cars had served their purpose. Now they were ghosts, like the crew wanted to be. Rex flicked the last match, watched it curl into the flame, then turned without a word. One ride left. They all climbed into a rusted sedan with no plates, dark tints and stolen silence. The streets whispered as they rolled, down past shuttered liquor stores, through alleyways tagged in gang colors, and back across territory lines they didn't yet know they'd soon divide. They pulled up to a boarded-up trap house deep in West Goldleaf. A place with no neighbors, no cameras, just roaches, dust, and forgotten secrets. Inside, they laid it all out. Black duffel bags unzipped, cash, gold bars, diamonds, and bearer bonds. They didn't speak at first, just stared at the weight of it all, what it meant, what came next. No one said it out loud, but they all felt it. This wasn't just a score. It was the last thing they'd do together, and the first crack in everything they built.